So hello everyone and welcome once again to my fourth episode of my Grey Hack tutorial. So happy to see that there are a couple of comments on my last couple of videos. It's really great motivator for me to keep doing this. And I'm glad people are hopefully finding it helpful. Not sure if anyone's actually said that specifically, but hopefully it helped. If not, then I apologize for that. I also apologize for the last episodes, the heavy breathing in that. That was quite annoying, I will say, and hopefully this one will certainly be better. Now, today I'll be doing one out of three contracts for academic changes. So I'll probably not do all three in one episode because that's a real nightmare to edit and stuff. And depending how bad they are depends whether or not how quickly I can get this done. Hopefully under 10 minutes like I've said in my earlier videos. But so to get us started we want to head to your hack shop, head to the jobs, then well, I'm going to do it academic changes. Now, they're not all the same. They're not like the first mission where if you do this same steps, it'll always get the same result. This will have different elements and some things that have not been seen in the first tutorial mission. So let's just go and accept that. And as you can see, we've got an email from this person for a mission contract. Now, first things first, we want to identify what they want done. They want to modify the mathematics subject so that it's increased by at least 1 point for Vasily Murata. So first we'll start with the basic steps. We'll go into our terminal, do nmap, and then grab the IP. So as we can see here, we don't have an SSH open, which is a little annoying because that's one of the nicest ones to deal with. But we do have an HTTP. Well, that's really all we have. As you can see, there's the students and employers which are closed. We're going to access that by gaining access, I guess you could say, to the HTTP one. So now that we've identified what we need to find the exploit for, we now go back to our browser. Don't really need that for the time being. And then we have to go to our exploits. Now, because this is single player, the version will always be 1.0.0. In multiplayer, that does change. Does make it a little more annoying as well. But so we just select HTTP out of all these options here, and then we go 1.1.0, and then just search. Now, here we've got grant access to the etc slash the password file that's in that folder, and we got two that give us access to a shell, which is the thing that we really kind of want from this. So if we look at this one, this is not a bad one. As you can see here, this also changes. This is like how the version number changes, so it won't always work, but for single player it will. This is a nice one-ish, but it's not perfect because we need a minimum of 3 users. This one, on the other hand, is much better because we only need the kernel module on the computer. So we'll be going with this one. As you can notice though, it is a bit more expensive though than this one, which kind of is an indication that it is a bit better than this one, as things that are more expensive usually are better, but not always as always. So we'll be going with this one. Now, my naming scheme for this is we look at what it does, we look what service it's targeting, and then we look at what version number it is. I think I also said that in the wrong order, but that's not a big deal. So to start this off, we want to go up here into our bin. Then, as I said, the service it's doing, so it's the HTTP. It's giving us a shell, and it's for version 1. Now that will download. Now a good thing I think anyway. This is the first time I've done it, but it certainly is useful. Is we just make a note of what it is and what it does. So we just do HTTP shell 1, and then just require grants access to good spelling shell and needs kernel mod version 1. Now the reason why we do this is because as we go through this, we'll find more and more programs, and some will be the same thing, but the requirements will differ, as we've just seen here how this one also requires 3 users to be registered on the computer. So this is just saving you a lot of messing around trying all combinations instead of just going straight for the one you need. So we're going to save this under HTTP programs, even grams, and just save. So now we can actually see whether or not it will grant us access to what we want. So we just do HTTP. Why is it? Okay. And then we just do shell. And now we need the IP and the port, and here we go. This was a rather simple one, which means I probably will do another one, and that one will not probably be as likely. I just said, yeah, that was really redundant on me. Okay, let's try that again. That probably means that the next one I do will not be so easy as this one happily was. Although I was pretty lucky to get a good program exploit even. That's what I should have called it, exploit, not programs. But now what it wants us to do, we don't need this anymore, or this, just save it to be certain. Never can be too careful. You don't want to have to written an essay in it and then find out that you didn't save it after you closed it. Always, for anything you do, that's always a pain. Alright, so our task is to change the mathematics qualification by at least 1 point. So let's get the File Explorer open. And the thing we're looking for here is Students Viewer. And here we go, is Vasily Murata right here, nice and easy. And we have to increase it by at least 1 point. So we can do a bit more and go 8.3. And then we just save it. And if you want, you can check some other stuff out. It's kind of interesting to see. Pictures are amazing, as you can see. And yeah, that's all we really need to do. Then to complete the mission, we just go reply and type in done. And now we'll get this email, which says customer is satisfied with this job and there's been a payment to our account. Now, I did last episode show the best way to get money, which was by going into decrypting their bank account details. And because, as you can see here, this mission only gave me a $50 profit since I had to spend $150 to get the exploit. The exploit is more than worth it though, of course, because you get to keep it and stuff. But it's not the best, whereas the last one was 1400. Much, much better than, well, than the 200 for completing a mission, which was happily short, but it's not always like that. Now, we have been going for 10 minutes actually, so that's pretty nice. So took a bit longer than I expected, but it still was not. Just makes me nervous for when the ones that aren't so easy come up. Oh boy. Anyway, but now that you have this, you can also, um, I don't believe you can actually do this, because if we go, this is something that I'm going to just do quickly. So if we go to the etc folder, get that password, just replace it, go back to a terminal, cipher, password, and as you can see here, there's only 2 users on this computer, so that other exploit we found would not have worked. You guys also have to tell me whether or not my commentary is better than awkward silence. If it is awkward at all. If not, then I'll just add some music over it. I know the perfect, I found the song which I just think is perfect for hacking in general. It's just it fits so well. Uh, it's like how I did GMV for Sky is Over by Serge Turan, I believe the song's called, with oh god, now I'm not gonna be able to remember the name. Ah, it's what's it called? Uh, I always hate it when I can't remember what I'm thinking of. It's called Ace Combat 7. That's it. Because I just think that fits together perfectly. But you may feel different. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can log in using the HTTP root at Reggie. Yeah, see, this is a computer that you won't be able to add to the map, okay, because it doesn't have an SSH. If you can't do, because if I do SSH here and do root at Reggie, capital, and then paste the thing, see, port 22 not found, so you can't add this IP into the map. But other than that, that's all that's going to be for this episode. This is going to be part 1 of the mini sort of series that will be doing academic changes contracts. Hopefully it was useful, informative, and helped you with any problems you may encounter. As I said too, I was pretty lucky that I had the right program in the shop, and it didn't need to mess around too much with it. You might have different, and I'm sure there will be at least one that won't be so easy to do for me. Anyway, bye.